scheduled the stream for exactly the time that he hit go live.
Bro, you gotta stop streaming on YouTube. This shit is way too complicated. This shit is way too complicated. In all of my years streaming, I have never once seen someone struggle so much with clicking go live. This gotta be a YouTube thing. This gotta be a YouTube thing.
So
I'm judging so hard.
do you want me to check for you, Sonny?
Are you in your living room right now?
Me or Sonny?
Yeah. No, not you. You're
I'm in the chaos space.
I don't know. I'm just looking at your room and I see like 2 doors. Your wife lets you have a man cave? Wow, rich.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
That is true, actually.
Bro, I work fucking crazy hours and I'm broke as hell. Yo,
your work hours is telling people on YouTube that they play Dragon Link wrong.
Yeah, true. You know, when you find a title that the algorithm likes, you just stick with it. It's like I've told my Twitch chat this. There's a specific phrase that I can throw into any YouTube thumbnail, no matter how good or bad the thumbnail is, and the video will always do 15, 20K views every time. It has never failed.
We've hacked the algorithm. Oh, you did go live. It does work. Yeah.
Oh, actual 1 viewer. Oh my god, 2 viewers. Yo, these doing numbers, boys.
Oh, and the numbers have gone up.
Me when number goes up.
Niche. No. Number should have.
If you go over to Sonny's chat, I'll shoot you.
That's
I absolutely could. I absolutely could. Oh, exclamation podcast. I feel like, hey, can you guys like at some point send me the links to where the podcast is like findable so I can like make an exclamation command for that?
I will
yeah. Could you just like do that again? Because I'm not scrolling through all that shit.
Yeah. I will I'll make you a document.
That's yeah, thank you.
That I can pin it too.
Kiss. Thank you. Oh, wait, hold on. This Persona mix goes fucking hard. Hold on, I gotta turn the shit up. Chat, listen to this.
I can't believe we're getting the P3 remake in like Sonny, you're all 3 of us now. Are you
Yo, this shit is so hard. This shit bangs. Yo, all 2 viewers of Sonny's chat, one of which I'm probably sure is Skyhawk. Can you guys like pull up the Persona 3 Reload OST Changing Seasons full version? This shit goes so hard.
Extremely true. I'm so excited. Honestly, I'm excited just for the soundtrack to come out.
Same.
I don't know. I have
so fucking ready. Bro, they got Lotus Juice back on the lyrics. I'm going crazy.
Lotus Juice is the goat. I came across turns out there's like an old Persona anime that's like it's set 10 years after Persona 3. It's called Persona Trinity Soul, and it has it has a couple of Lotus Juice songs I had never heard, and they're so good.
Oh my god. I haven't watched Trinity Soul yet, but I know what it is. I've heard it's really good actually. Like in terms of like Persona animes, Trinity Soul is like close to S tier actually, from what I've heard.
I have not actually watched any of the Persona animes. The only things I know is people say the P4 one is okay, P4 Golden sucks, P5 is okay, and Trinity Soul is a thing that exists. And Persona 3 has like 4 movies apparently. So
I can explain the Persona. Oh well, okay. Skyhawk just exploded, but yeah. But okay, so the reason Persona 3 anime has movies is they don't have a serialized episodic anime the way that 4 and 5 do. So it's kind of like how JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, before they had like the anime like that we all know now. It exclusively existed in like 3 anime movies, and it was just all like Stardust Crusaders. I preferred when Skyhawk was visible.
Oh, weird.
Well, he was
I turned
not
my
on my end.
yeah, I turned my camera off and back on, so I should. In theory, I'm visible again.
I just cannot get over the fact that that looks 100 times better. Okay. Sunny, let's do a little bit of comparative analysis. There are 6 people who can see your stream, and there are 90 that can see mine.
All right.
For the best viewing experience.
All right. So while we're haggling, Sunny, are we ready to get started? I gotta. If you want to read sponsors, I can click the start button right now, Sonny.
I will run the poll. Yeah, I have to record my audio. Hold on, let me do that. I don't have Audacity on this computer. Give me a second.
Don't worry about it this time around. I can do it next time.
Okay.
It's mainly it's just a backup for if we get what happens last time where my internet dies. All right.
Yeah, true. I mean, there's a pretty specific reason for why Twitch chat probably likes that, but like,
listen. Oh, God.
All right, Twitch chatters, poll is up. Go vote. Oh my God, they're actually voting all 3 of us. You know what? I'll vote for it too. I'll rig the poll. It's way funnier when it's like all 3 of us in the corner. Oh, true. We could have called it Wide Sunny. So we can have the funny Sunny pick again. No. You don't get the funny Sunny. You just get all you get is either Wide Sunny or Tiny Sunny in the corner. You can either have the funny thing or Wide Sunny, and just pick one. Yo, double digits soon, Pog.
True. Okay. Sunny, are you
for the better viewing experience? You can always join us at Trishula TTV. Twitch.tv/Trishula TTV. Just by the way.
Oh yeah.
Can I clap in a really obnoxious way?
Yes. Or for me.
Okay, so Skyhawk, can I be really annoying when I do it?
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
Thank you for the golf clap. I appreciate that. I'll put the Phil Mickelson hat on and disappear for a while.
I got you.
Grimoire, excellent. You're listen.
Yeah, I deserve that. I'm gonna keep it real. I deserve that. Speaking of TCG player though, what is our promo code on there? I need to order some cards soon.
TCG is just a TCG is just a link. We're not CMO tier. We don't have a code.
We don't have a
But it
code.
is
Okay.
there is a
Okay.
link. But yeah, basically everywhere.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, basically everywhere. It's Top Cut 5 or Top Cut 10.
Yeah.
So ah, true. Not a hero that. That I think that proves that you are insane, Sonny. That is 11 seasons of. So that's for those who are unfamiliar with the lore. That means 11 ban lists have come and gone since Sonny started. Because the way that this
Oh
works is the
wow.
new season starts when the ban list goes into effect. So that for this time was January 1st. And speaking of that, I think that's the first thing we're talking about is the weird hell world that we live in post ban list. Do we have?
Oh my god.
Crazy. Man is nothing but consistent. Uh,
Yo.
Actually, let me do this. Okay, so I have just sent a link. This is just one of the events that happened this weekend. This was on Saturday. Lampy YGO casted. It's called the HDK. I'm not going to pretend to know, like I know how to pronounce the actual name of the event. No, this happened in Germany, I think. Um, So so this was a 282 player event. This is the top 16. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff here. So we have 2 tier, 2 centurion, 1 fire king, 1 labyrinth, 1 kashtira, 1 monadium, 1 bestial runic, 1 chimera branded, 1 pearly, 1 drytron, 1 branded, 1 rika, 1 trickstar, and 1 unchained. So that's out of
Did you
this
say
is post ban
Trickstar?
list. Yes, Trickstar. Trickstar got top 16
Huh?
at an over 250 player event in the year 2024. The list
Oh,
I think is going up on Lampy's channel later. It's not out just yet. And what's crazy is that the guy who got, I think he got top 8 with tier, also won the German Open, which happened
okay.
today with tier. That one was 512 players. Um, so let me
Do you
pull
know
up
who that
that quote.
was?
I do not know the name. Uh, it is. His name is Felix Pfeiffer. Goes by
Okay.
Drizzles. But
I don't
so
know.
this is
Is
so
he? Do you know what nationality he is?
nope, I have no idea.
Yeah,
But
because like you said that it was the German Open and the Italian Open, so I wasn't like clearly he's traveling for them.
oh, I don't think it's the Italian Open. There were I think I remember Lampy tweeted they were like 6 hours apart, and
Oh,
a bunch of people tried to do both.
oh, oh!
Yeah,
There were two German tournaments. Okay, okay,
I think so. So
okay.
anyway, this pie chart started some discourse about whether diverse formats are good or not. But
Uh,
regardless, yes, this is what started it.
uh.
Um,
I was trying to
Nobody
figure out
knows
where
what to
that
do.
conversation came from.
Mhm. It was this. So here, so I guess we could go over some other stuff. So tier limit is still good enough to win a large event, even after the millers have been banned. And I think it's kind of wild. If you look at the God, I have to click the link again. If you look at the list, we're back on King of the Swamp, which makes sense because if we're not milling a bunch of other cards, we're not making like Rucola's Kaleido Heart. This list one is on the Horus engine as well to compensate getting draws. We're playing 3 Suliak and a Meta Noise in the main on top of like 3 Scream and a Heartbeat. We're playing like Tier Lament has now finally, it's like a mid range deck now. You can't like sack your way into insane mills. You have to build an engine and try to repeat it. So it still exists, but like it's so hard to prepare for everything on here. Like if you have to like think about, I might play a Drytron player, so I need Droll. Oh, but also I need Bistials because I might play against Tyr. But also I need other hand traps because of Centurion. But Labyrinth might come and be like, actually, those cards are useless. Like, also, Fire King is a thing. We have to play Soul Release now. Like, and I don't know. What do you
We don't
guys
have to play
think?
Soul Release yet, right? Like we have to. That's
Wait.
when they get the support, right?
People are already doing it. People are already playing it.
Oh.
I think it was one of the Rescue Ace players. There's a list on YGO Pro Deck. No, it's Vanquish Soul. So there was a
maybe OCG was right. Maybe best of one really is the best format. Maybe best of one really is just the best format because like I'm not trying to think this hard, bro.
I found it. So there was a regional in Klagenfurt that it's Klagenfurt. I think it's Germany as well. So there's a regional there.
That sounds German.
And they are siding 2 copies of Soul Release because they are main decking Thrust. It's already happening. So, and there's also like tons of crazy stuff that's been happening at regionals. There was a Birmingham regional where first, second, and third place were all cash. So
yeah, I've been seeing cash kind of do well recently. Like it's not just like localized. Like I've seen it on DB, I've seen it in Europe, seen it in NA. I don't get it, but like okay.
Dimension Shifter is good. It's a bunch of big guys. They have a lot of non-engine slots. Although the guy who won the regional was actually playing like a Cyburst combo.
Oh my god.
There was a dude who got 10th at a Utah regional, just missed out on Top Cut on Tiebreakers, playing Sacred Beast Unchained. And instead of playing Tour Guide, you play Chaos Summoning Beast because it's another 1-card Yama.
So if anybody wants, like, if you can't tell by me like repeatedly sighing, I'm not a fan of these like super diverse formats because like, what are these decks? like how are you supposed to prepare for a tournament? Like, think about this. Think about this, right? Sure. like like all right, let's assume that you work a 40-hour a week job, right? You only got like maybe you got like 5 hours in the rest of your day to like test or practice or whatever. You come home, you could start a podcast. You come home, you start testing. Let's say that you're really diligent and test like 4 times a week for like 3-4 hours. And you are testing like well in advance, like a month or 2 in advance. You're putting in 12-15 hours a week every week for like 2 months. You show up to a YCS and your opponent just summons a Sacred Beast monster on you and you get womboed and you're like, oh, come on, dude. Like, what is happening? Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't like formats this wide because like it just punishes you for investing time into the game.
I don't know, Sonny, you've been quiet. What are your thoughts on the format diversity question?
Sonny, did you just unplug your headphones?
Yeah, we can hear ourselves. Sonny, you might want to check your mic.
How has this been going on for 11 seasons and Sonny still doesn't get it for
We got it's incredible. Well,
Truly
while Sonny, I'll pause the recording for now while Sonny is working this out. So while this is happening, I guess I can enlighten you to the truth of our Lord and Savior Borreload Riot Dragon. Riot Dragon has some very funny stuff. So like opening it, for example, just means that you can route through Kaito Terra and then fuse and then use the Riot Dragon effect from Grave. Some other things, Riot Dragon can destroy a card on the field. So if you don't have any babies in hand, but you got one onto the field, you can destroy one from there. So you can open like really bad hands like Archosaur Misk, Dragon Shrine, and you can still combo. Normal Arco, Link into Link Rebo, Misk effect. Banish Misk and the Archosaur to summon a baby, activate Shrine, set a Riot Dragon pop the baby, and then you can keep comboing from there. So that's
so since the recording is paused and Sonny is still in the gulag here, Skyhawk, you're in charge of letting me know when he's out of the gulag because I just muted him because I can't.
Yep.
I've got a poll up right now in my Twitch chat. Who is the best member of the Top Cut podcast? I'm voting for Sunny personally. I'm voting for Sunny.
Incredible vote. I would personally encourage you to vote for Miniful because Miniful was playing a Fire Emblem Soul Link, and that was very awesome. God, I haven't played the GBA Fire Emblem games in 12 billion years. It's the best member of the Top Cut podcast is actually Artifact Side. I think that sums it up. Okay. Actually, this is a good time for me to plan out a card fund. Oh, actually, no, I have a card fund. So.
Right, it's the ritual essence these. Oh, fun fact, if you're ever curious about a Boral monster, like if you don't know from the name of it which it is, the adjective is always starts with the same letter as the type of card. So Borreload, Furious Dragon is the fusion, Riot Dragon's the ritual, Savage is the synchro. Exceed is like, it's like E and then a big X something.
Borreload is the link. And then Sword just came afterwards, so they just were like, we don't care about the condition.
Yeah, loads are the link. And I didn't know this until recently. Boral End is apparently a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. It is a fusion, like it's still a link monster, but it's a fusion of Sword, Guard, and Borreload, I guess.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense.
That's why it has 3 heads. Yeah, it's literally Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, but like as a Boral monster. I didn't know that until the other day.
So I'm digging through this binder of stuff, speaking of, and I found a copy of Agripane.
Let's go!
Or something. I remember when this was summoning Hot Red instead of using like rock.
I remember when Agripane used to suck. What's crazy is like early Dragon Link / Danger Thunder. Like you would play Agripane and that card was obviously. It felt so ungodly neg to summon it because you like it was awkward because you had to make a link 2 that pointed in the correct directions, and then you would like have to make triple burst and then link triple burst off for Agripane because like it was. Like you had to make a link 2, but there weren't good generic link 2s until Romulus for dragons. So you had to make something random as shit, like a Crusadia thing was like played at one point just because it was the link 2 that pointed down. But you had to like make something that wasn't a dragon, so you had to go into triple burst because that was a dragon. Then use triple burst to make Agripane. Like it was.
Yeah, there was like
no, they didn't. That wasn't even a thing because that no. Yeah, because that was rocket structure.
Wild. And then I have a Boral Guard Dragon.
Let's go.
the least played of the 3. Funny enough, I bought this for Dynamist because there was a board you could set up in the Dynamist deck before Electromite got banned at that time, which was Boral Guard Dragon plus Last Warrior. And the idea was that you would use Boral Guard to stop them from like running into the Last Warrior and like prevent them. And the Boral Guard Dragon doesn't get destroyed by it, so you put them on a 2-turn block instead. Very bad. You could also do like God, I think it was like Appaloosa and Steel. And at that time, I know that this. Maybe I'll also tell you to try like leaving and returning the call. So,
I mean, it's like your house. I see it. He probably got switched to his internal graphics card or something.
Because
can you hear him now?
Maybe like,
or is it still fucked
up? Sonny, check your audio source on Discord. Check your audio source to make sure it's good. Because I'm wondering if
Sunny, of course, won the poll, by the way.
Well, we take the W's for it. Listen, we'll try it for another 2 minutes. If we can't make this happen, maybe we'll just cease. Maybe Sunny, if you want to just like.
Episode. What if we just cut Sunny out of his own podcast? Sunny just juked the fuck out of me. He just knew where he was on the podcast and that clown was over my face. I caught it on my peripheral vision. That way, I don't know if you did that intentionally or not, but that was bad funny. Clown Trish. Speaking of Clown Trish, you guys want to see like a really old YouTube thumbnail that I made like before I figured out like better ways to make thumbnails? Because it's honestly pretty complex. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can go find it. It's like one of those videos I have like on my YouTube channel that has like less than 100 views or some shit. That's how you know it's a banger. This is like Stevie Wonder collab era. Apparently, like, I have no recollection of this, but apparently Stevie and I like made a whole series on YouTube that was like several episodes deep. And I have no recollection of it at all.
I have no idea how you forget. That's...
Oh, because every time me and Stevie hung out, we would call each other, our calls would start at like 2 in the morning and go until like 7 a.m. So like, they were just like mad sleep deprived. Like,
that's the sleep issue.
TTV. Yeah. Triple Tactics Talents Vision.
But yeah, Trishula.
What is this thumbnail? This is art. This is art. Classic Trish content. Back in the good old. Yeah, the fucking clown ass emoji.
That is incredible. I love. Okay, I was gonna ask you about this. What is? Yeah. I didn't ask while you were doing your run. What is Gara? I don't know.
Oh, you don't know who Jera is?
I don't know who Jera is.
Do you remember the first DC Cup?
No.
You remember the dude that won by toggling off on Xbox?
Oh.
He's one of my Twitch chatters.
Sonny, we have you now.
He's one of my fucking chatters.
That is incredible. Oh, so you have the guy.
yeah. So during my first ever subathon, like I do like the Wheel of Torture shit, right? And one of the things on the wheel was change wins to Jera, like in honor of Jera.
No, they're all.
And then there was another one that said change losses to Jera, and we rolled both of them. So we just left it. And Sonny, I was too lazy to change it back because I'd have to resize everything.
We have Sonny's microphone back.
Oh, Sonny's back. Okay, thank God. What does toggling off on Xbox do? During the first DC Cup, so like you used to in Master Duel be able to toggle on and off. Also, I'm gonna leave the call real quick.
Yeah. Welcome back.
Because I didn't like. Oh, what the fuck? Why are you on the bottom? What the fuck? I don't.
How did this happen?
Anyway, I see. But on the so on the first, what's it called? Like during the first DC Cup, Jera figured out like because what you could do is you could like on console crossplay is enabled by default so that you can like you could so you could have like crossplay is enabled by default, so you're playing against people from Xbox, iPhone, computer, whatever. But you can toggle crossplay off so that you're only playing against other people on Xbox or PlayStation, whatever, right? During the first DC Cup, they didn't see a problem with this. Jera realized that if you turn crossplay off, the people who play on Xbox fucking suck at the game. Like, so this was during like Halcorodon format, and he would open, you know, like Halcorodon, and he would unironically get Swords of Revealing Lighted.
Oof.
Like activate Swords of Revealing Light, set a card, pass was like 50% of the games that he would play. So he steamrolled the fuck out of DC Cup because his opponents were garbage. And he came first place by a huge margin. And then he posted he posted on like fucking Reddit about it. He was on Farfa stream, like telling people what he did. And then Konami was like, this is a fucking problem. So they disabled the ability to turn off crossplay during DC Cup.
I do think it would be funny if they left the ability to do it one time, just to see how many people would try on Xbox and then make the competition level go up. I think that would have been like, it would have been, I think it would have been
mad funny
if they left it for one and then they stopped, just because
that would have been mad funny.
But also, it's probably too much trouble for it than it's worth. Okay, Sonny, are we able to kick back into it?
I guess, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought I had it figured out, and I'm pretty disappointed.
That's okay.
Classic Sonny.
Round, we can go another round.
Sonny, if you want, I'll charge you a very modest consulting fee to figure out your fucking technical problems, because I don't think in my entire life I have ever had this many problems streaming.
Welcome.
How about this? How about I continue to pay you your co-host fee for someone that's never here?
What if I do the
that's crazy.
The what was the bit? I lost the bit. That's what it was. Consultants of the Ice Barrier. Is that a card? Do we have that?
Is that a real card?
Is it? Do we have Consultants of the Ice Barrier?
Consultants of the Barrier to Entry to Streaming.
There's Strategist of the Ice Barrier. So that's what you can name the consulting business, a Strategist of the Ice Barrier. Anyway.
Strategist of the Stream Barrier.
I'm gonna count us back in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You may have seen that Sonny's face has disappeared, but we have recovered his voice from the annals of from the depths of hell. So welcome back.
It took quite a while. We should.
We've been gone for a minute. Skyhawk, by the way, you're gonna have to cut all of this because I'm just gonna give you the VOD and let you just rip the audio from the VOD.
I'm already recording our audio. I know where I'm cutting it. We're good. I've got it sorted on my side.
Good luck on my side. Wizard. I think I opened Audacity and it just destroyed everything. I think is what happened.
That'll definitely mess with stuff because it's gonna try and like pull your audio devices, and OBS and Discord specifically both hate applications that try.
Well, I had to delete 2/3 of the screens on the scenes on my OBS, so I'm just in face cam now. That's all they get if they're on YouTube.
Speaking of scenes, allow me to set the scene. So we talked about the TCG format a little bit. Mainly it's chaos. It gets upended a little bit. The last thing to mention about TCG format is Maze comes out this week or next week, and we get a couple of cards that shift the meta landscape from being very, very wide to shrinking a little bit. The two main cards we're getting in that set that matter are Bonfire and what's the last one? Bonfire and Transaction Rollback.
Yeah, so, those cards are pretty scary.
Bonfire is spooky because it gives the fire stuff way more consistency. Rescue Ace gets much better. And Bonfire gets even more scary with Popolo once Phantom Nightmare comes out. But we have, I think, another month or so before that happens.
It's right before Costa Rica, right?
I think it is before then. So I think Bonfire is mainly, it's a consistency boost for now. And then we'll see it become like a huge power tool once everything else all the other pieces are in place. But it's a huge buff to Rescue Ace because it kind of replaces your hit to Airlifter. Where the consistency is back.
Speaking of Rescue Ace, I would like to talk for a minute about Pax List as well.
Oh yeah, we can just play a Fire King engine in Rescue Ace now.
Yeah.
Rescue Ace, Fire King, Dibelstar is just enough to do it.
Let's just put every fire deck in.
Yeah, he won the Utah Regional, right? He went undefeated. He went 7-0.
Yeah. Guys, I got good news.
He found a way to put the clown emoji over my face again.
Wait, the view count is gone. We can't laugh anymore.
Oh, I can't see Sunny at all. Oh, there he is.
So,
yeah. He's back.
Here's how this works.
Oh, you figured it out?
Yes, I can just not have any cameras or microphones on OBS and just stream my screen. This is just my Discord screen. So it works for both, but I just don't have a camera in any other scene.
You know what? We take the W's where we can get them.
So that's going to work for the live stream on my end too.
So I do want to take some time to talk about transaction rollback. Because there are going to be some ruling nightmares with this card that, as a Yu-Gi-Oh judge, I would like to clarify for the people. So, transaction rollback can copy the effect of a normal trap card that you have in your graveyard, but there are some conditions kind of that apply. You do not have to pay the cost for these cards, but you do have to meet the activation condition. So, for example, I see a lot of people talking about maybe copying something like Harpy's Featherstorm. You cannot do that, unless you control a Windwing Beast already. Mainly like Dimensional Barrier, for example, you can copy. So there's those. The one card that is going to cause some havoc is Eradicator Epidemic Virus. Somebody brought up in one of my Discords, the Necrofusion enthusiasts, that in the OCG, the text of Eradicator is different than in the TCG. So in the TCG, the Eradicator Epidemic Virus says, when you activate it, you tribute your dark monster, you call spell or trap, and then it's until the end of the third turn after this card's activation. The OCG does not have the after this card's activation part of the text. It just says until like the third turn or something. So in the OCG, you can copy the effect of Eradicator because you are not activating this card. You are activating the effect. I expect that in the TCG, it will be ruled that you cannot copy Eradicator with this card, because you are not activating Eradicator Epidemic Virus, and so it is not this card. So you cannot copy it with the graveyard effect of Transaction Rollback. The reason that this is the case is because there is a card with the same text called Extinction on Schedule. It's a normal trap that's like you flip it, destroy all monsters on the field during the third battle phase after this card's activation. In the OCG, that card does have after this card's activation in the text, and it is ruled that you can copy that card. So, or that it is ruled that you, it's ruled that you can't copy that card in the OCG. So,
you won't know what this means.
Well, welcome to hell, everybody.
You won't know what this means, though.
Cancer.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm in.
ERAD is gonna get a new printing in the next OTS pack after Transaction Rollback comes out, because this is the same thing that happened with Ray, where
That's true.
Yeah, where the first printing of Ray had like whatever the interaction is with Evenly Matched right now was the exact opposite when Sky Striker first came out.
Yeah, there was some weird stuff.
Yeah, but then they fixed it. So usually when there's situations like this where like a card, because of how it's worded, and like there's a slight wording difference between like OCG, TCG, if a card works one way in OCG and then it stops working that way in the TCG, a lot of times they fix the TCG text to match how the ruling would work in OCG.
Yeah.
But then you're left with like these little lag periods where sometimes it doesn't work like that.
The other thing that they can do is they can update the text on the database, and then that could be the final text, which is a thing that like is something that we could do in the past. I think they may have done that when Alibur had the printing mistake in EU.
I think so.
Where they were like, you can only add a Despia card, so you could only add the field spell.
Yeah.
So you couldn't actually add Branded Fusion with it, which was very funny. But I think they updated the text in the database. And that's probably also why it got a reprint as soon as it did. But
yeah,
anyway.
Yeah, that's what happens when when meta cards get like quick reprints, it's usually because of something like that.
Yeah, the main thing that Transaction Rollback does is there's two things, I guess. It gives decks that can make Beatrice access to any normal trap in the game if you want to play two, and it means that Labyrinth can activate Big Welcome twice, and that's actually the problem. Like Labyrinth just like getting to activate Ice Dragon's Prison twice is really strong. It's also another card that has value when you pitch it with the furniture. So that anything that helps their value accrue is really strong.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not positive on this ruling, but I think with how Transaction Rollback works, you would be able to use Transaction Rollback to copy Big Welcome, like normal effect to special summon in the graveyard, and then still banish the Big Welcome from the graveyard to like bounce something, right? Yeah, so that adds a whole new element to Labyrinth that makes the deck way scarier, because normally when you're playing against Labyrinth, you're thinking it's like, okay, well, they have Big Welcome in the grave, so if I stop them from getting a guy on the field, they're forced to use the Big Welcome that I know is set, which means that they're not going to use the one in the graveyard, which means that like now they have one less interruption, I'm fine. And now that whole element of the matchup is just gone. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna summon the armpit lady, pop a card, and then bounce another card.
Yeah. And like you can do stuff like if your opponent uses an imperm, like if you set the rollback, you can copy that imperm and then transaction rollback.
Oh, it can copy cards in the opponent's graveyard too?
So when it's set on your side of the field.
Oh, when it's set.
It copies one from your opponent's grave. When it's in the graveyard, it copies one from your own grave.
Okay. I was gonna say, I don't remember it doing that. Hold on.
The labyrinth mirror is now hell, is what I'm trying to tell you. It's even worse than before because rollback is like an ever looming threat.
So I don't know if we have another agenda item, but I do have like some like competitive stuff to mention on transaction rollback.
I think please talk more about transaction rollback, and then I do want to shift gears afterwards.
Yep, let's do it.
So here's the thing with transaction rollback that I think is going to have lasting effects on the meta between its release and YCS Las Vegas. So if you're planning on going to any events like in this time frame, this is kind of important. So when transaction rollback comes out, Labyrinth is going to skyrocket in popularity because the deck becomes really, really, really good for a short period. And because of that, that's going to influence how people, like what they play. But here's the thing. It's going to quickly fall off too, because that's when we get the new like Fire King support, the new Snake Eyes support, all the fire stuff. And it's going to quickly get overrun by like the fire decks. But what I think is something that gets left out of the conversation a lot is there's a lag period with the players. So like the meta might shift, but people might not actually adapt to a new metagame for a few weeks. So what I think is going to happen is Lab is actually going to be really, really popular at YCS Las Vegas and Costa Rica as well, because people might not have all the cards that they need to play the new decks in time. And also because if you're looking at results, you're going to see Lab going crazy with the transaction rollbacks for a few weeks. So a ton of regionals, any like community events, they're going to get dominated by Lab. And then everybody's going to be focusing on Lab, and they're not going to be thinking about the new decks for those major events. So maybe try and like think about that a little bit if you're preparing for some of these events.
Those types of windows are often where somebody playing Rogue can kind of sneak in and be like, people have not caught up to this yet. I can wedge my way in here. All right, Sonny, what was your segue here? Where did we want to go?
Before we do, I would like to ask you guys. Transaction rollback is a clearly powerful card. Labyrinth has yet to be hit in the TCG. In fact, it got buffed, if anything, with the banning of Red Reboot. Do we think that transaction rollback is either a hittable card or a card that could lead Labyrinth to be hit on the ban list, especially now that the deck has been reprinted?
We're going into because it's going to depend on its staying power, I think, because
I guess that's essentially what I'm asking.
No.
So we've got Promethean Princess coming out. We got the new fire stuff. Clearly, Konami's goal is the fire stuff. If Labyrinth can hold through some of that format, I think they might hit it, especially because I'm sure people will discover more nonsense that can be done with rollback. And I think rollback is probably the bannable card, though. Like, I don't think any of the Labyrinth cards by themselves are that unfair. A lot of it is just like a few select normal traps that have been kind of like that are insane. If anything, I could see them being like we're banning Kukluk. You have to use rollback now. So they don't want to let you do it like in engine as easily. I don't know. What do you do to hit Labyrinth? Do you do the OCG?
Yeah, I don't think OCG didn't hit it, did they?
Big Welcome is at 2 there, I think.
I think the really interesting thing about Labyrinth specifically, it reminds me a lot of the Invoke Dogmatica Shadal deck, even like the Eldritch Invoke Dogmatica Shadal, where it is a deck that seems to, and this is most control decks, they come back into rotation early in formats, And then once a format has been established, they'll rotate back out. So I'm wondering if transaction rollback is going to give Labyrinth the staying power that it needs to be in the format past the first 3 weeks, right? Because that's always been what happens. The format resets with a ban list. Then you get a control deck like either Labyrinth or this one for 3 weeks, and then you don't see it again until the beginning of the next format. And then all of a sudden it's like, this is the best deck again because it didn't get hit.
So my take is that we don't have time for the format to stabilize.
But this is also kind of
will this become one of the stable parts of the format?
I think the question you're answering is asking was answered by what I was saying before we were talking about this. Is that if you look at the OCG meta reports, there's 0 Labyrinth anywhere, at all. The deck does not grind very well with decks like post support Rescue Ace and post support Fire King. Those deck, and also post even further down the line, post support Infernoid. Those decks all are just too much for something like Lab to handle, which is a trap deck. So that's why I was kind of cautioning people is don't overestimate Labyrinth, because it's going to perform really, really well for a few weeks, and it's probably going to fall off as soon as we get the next core set.
I do think it's very interesting that fire decks for a long time in Yu-Gi-Oh! Have had a bad reputation of just being burn engines. But if you look at what fire really does in Yu-Gi-Oh! So every attribute has a theme, right? Dark decks are, I guess, wind decks are spamming the field with little weenies. Dark decks are using the graveyard a lot, things like that. And you have all of these different attributes, not necessarily having an exact play style, but a generalized idea of how they want to play. And that's why Fire's always had this burn concept to it. But I think that recurring back from the graveyard and having a grind game is an aspect of the fire attribute that people don't really give it credit for. So with all this fire support coming, it's really interesting that these fire decks are able to grind with Labyrinth in a way that a lot of the decks that we've had previously couldn't, because so many of these decks were built for combo or something along those lines, and the fire decks are super recursive like a control deck. They have really, really consistent resource loops. And I don't think that is something that most modern control decks are ready for, because that's their thing, not the mid-range combo decks things.
Promethean Princess is a good example of that. They're starting to design fire around that. Princess is
he's always been a thing.
Tool. It's a disruption. I love that we get to play Ambler Whale now. It's very funny. This card has seen absolutely 0 play, and now it's going to be everywhere.
I like
that's
that.
not true. It saw very little play in Sky Striker back in Eternal format. It did see play in Sky. Yeah, it was played in Sky Striker.
Why?
I don't remember. I don't remember. I just remember Ray Dye coming up to me and asking me for an Ambler Whale in 2017, 2018, and I was like, "Why?" He was like, "Oh, it's good in Striker." I was like, "Okay."
I just think that going all the way back to Rekindling, this has been a thing with Fire, and now it's become so relevant that Fire outgrinds the grind decks. So, okay. I would like to now transition the episode over to some new cards. We do have a bunch of new cards. We're actually gonna start with the new archetype. We had some other ones that we need to do, so we're going to move through this one kind of quickly, but I do want to spend the most amount of time on this one because this is clearly the most relevant and the most substantial thing of these new cards.
We got a whole archetype is what we got, for the most part anyway.
So welcome to Tri-Brigade to Insect Boogaloo. We have the Raikou archetype, like Raikou in Pokemon, but worse. So
funny giraffe.
Yeah.
True.
Funny giraffe.
I do like the big giraffe. I'm a big fan
too.
So let's go ahead and start with Raikou no Marikubi. Marikaubu?
The artwork on this card is insane, by the way.
It's something, all right.
It's really beautiful.
It is definitely something. So this is not what I meant to do. I am clicking everywhere. This is not going well. So, yeah, we're getting there, folks. Earth effect mods. Don't.
Before you get into this, do you mind like sending the link to these cards?
Yes, I got you.
Thank you.
Link.
Oh, I see
here.
now. I didn't see that. Skyhawk's on it. Thank goodness for Skyhawk. All right, so Earth Plant level 1 effect monster 0 attack 0 defense. If there's anything I've learned about a level 1 monster with 0 attack and 0 defense, it's that it's probably gonna be broken. You can only special summon with the first effect of this card's name once per turn. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. 1. You can special summon this card from your hand by sending one insect, plant, or reptile monster from your hand to the graveyard. Oh, it's literally Karis. 2. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add up to 2 of your, I guess it's supposed to be of, it says or, of your Rika cards with different names that are banished and or in your deck to your hand, except Rika no Marikubi. Then banish 1 Rika card from your hand. Also, you can special summon monsters from the rest of this turn, except insect, plant, and reptile monsters. So it summons and then goes +2?
Well, you're banishing one from hand
this
afterwards,
card is a net neutral, right?
Yeah, I think
because you. No, I think it's either neutral or
-1
-1 because you summon it from your hand by going for pitching a tri-type, which is neg.
A different.
Then you draw 2.
You
and
add
then
2.
banish 1. Okay, it's neutral, but it doesn't do anything on the field, so it's kind of like a pointless neutral.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
It's kind of nice if you open a duplicate because you can't add itself, but you can banish its own name. So
can we call this deck Little Garden?
Right.
Yeah, like this deck does feel like it's a garden. Like somebody in my chat was asking, like, what is the tying thread between insects, plants, and reptiles? And I'm like, oh, those are all just things you'd find in a garden.
Yeah, a garden or like a forest or like any kind of open.
I wonder if they're gonna add the 2 giants at the near like the middle of the arc.
Here's the next one. It's an insect. There are a couple of insect ninjas in the game, so it's very funny that we've got kind of a shinobi thing going on here. So this is
also just for people who can't see it, since this is a podcast, it is a roach, so I already hate it.
It's okay if you can't see it on Trish's stream for some reason. Just come to my stream, the better one.
All right, Rika no Yahazu Kamakiri. It's a light insect, level 3, 1500 and 0. I did take a Japanese class one time. I can pronounce things. That's about it.
I did too. I did an OCG metagame report.
That's not how that works. You can only special summon with the first effect of this card's name once per turn. You can only use the second effect once per turn. 1, you can special summon this card from your hand by placing one of your banished insect, plant, or reptile monsters on the bottom of the deck. All right, we're cooking. 2, if this card is sent to the graveyard as material for the link summon of a Rika monster, you can target 1 level 4 or lower insect, plant, or reptile monster in your graveyard, except itself, and special summon it in defense. This card is really good. It summons itself for free if you have a banished card, and it summons another one back from the graveyard. That reads pretty solid to me.
You know what? My chat named this deck. My chat fixed it. The deck's name is Rip.
It's Rip.
That was something on Reddit that I saw.
Was it on Reddit? Okay.
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter that apparently Redditors named it that like several hours ago.
All right. Oh, Trish, would you like to gift us with the reptile?
Yeah, I can go for that.
Deal.
So one note is that they've all been increasing in levels, but we haven't seen a level 2 yet. So the first one was level 1, second level 3. This is level 4.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Rika no. Oh my god. Rika no Yoroi Tokage.
Pretty close. It's Yoroi. So the R is like a funny sound. Yoroi. But you got everything else right. We're good.
Sure. So it's level 4, no attack, 23 defense. So it's power crept Clayman a little bit. You can special summon this with the first effect of this card's name once per turn. You can only use the second effect once per turn. So the summoning effect is you can summon it from your hand by banishing a insect, plant, or reptile monster from the graveyard. So that's pretty good. I don't hate that. Second effect is you can discard a insect, plant, or reptile, target a face of monster your opponent controls, except insect, plant, or reptile, bounce it to the hand. This one seems kind of mid.
Yeah, it's another way to banish Resonance Insect. So I honestly, there's like a bug stuff here. And yeah, it's if this was a quick effect, I think it would be much better. But not being a quick effect, I think holds it back a bit.
It's B.
I agree. I fully agree. It also, if it bounced a guy without having to discard a card, that'd probably be pretty good. But the fact that it's only a discard outlet when you go second makes it kind of weak for its on-field effect. Its summoning condition is pretty okay because it's following. I don't know if you guys actually ever read Road of the King, but there was something that was in there that was actually pretty insightful, which is that there's like you can like assign different values to like where your resources are. So like getting a resource from deck is like the most valuable, using the graveyard's like second most valuable, and then like pitching a card from hand is like the least valuable, right? Because that one actually costs a resource. So each of these kind of like get progressively better in terms of like which resource location you're using. Like the level 1, you have to pitch a card, so that kind of sucks. The level 3, you need a card in banished, so you have to have had a card set up to get it in banished first, so that's better, but still a little bit awkward. This one's just pretty easy. Like if there's a dude in your graveyard, just banish it, summon it.
Yeah, and the effects are like kind of range. Like Raika costs the most, but you get to add 2 cards to your hand.
Right.
The Kamakiri is like
it's pretty middle ground, like back, pretty decent.
All right,
this one's
that's all we have for the main deck. We have 4 link monsters.
It's one of these decks.
Yeah.
We're linking, baby.
Yeah, Dragon Link 2? Dragon Link 2?
Yo.
All of the relevant monsters are in the extra deck?
Yeah, we're playing Insect Link, baby. Let's go.
Oh my god. I can't
all right,
wait.
well let's tie this all together and link this thing up. So we have Raika no Mushi Dokuro.
Yeah.
Dokuro or Dokuro?
Dokuro.
Fire plant link effect. Oh, plant link. Link to 1600 attack. Link hours are bottom left, bottom right. 2 monsters, including an insect, plant, or reptile. So this is the same as Ferjit, where it's just 2 monsters and it has to include one of them. So the other one can be anything. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. Also, you cannot special summon monsters the turn you activate them, except for those. Okay. You cannot special monsters, so you can still, like, normal something, I guess. Okay. 1, you can target 1 Raika monster in your graveyard, special summon it in defense position. We extend.
I love Elf. Yay.
2, if this card is in your graveyard, you can target 1 insect, plant, or reptile monster you control, place it on the bottom of the deck, and if you do, special summon this card.
Interesting. So you can give yourself like an extra link material if you want. So you can go like,
suddenly makes so much sense why they hit the Sun Avalon guys.
Yeah.
It makes so much sense.
I mean, it made sense already with all the new aromatherapy cards or aroma cards coming out. Yeah. It already made sense. Now it makes super duper sense.
Yeah, this seems like it would be crazy in that deck.
Yeah.
The free Bengal answer. Don't mind if I do. Raika. So the next one is an insect link. This is a link 3. Raika no Ukaminushi. So it's a wind insect link. It's a 2300 attack. The arrows are kind of funky. It's left, down, and bottom right. You can only use each effect once per turn. 1, you can banish 2 insect, plant, and or reptile monsters from your graveyard. Add a Raika trap from your deck to your hand. Already, I really like that. Adding another layer of interaction to a board. I mean, we haven't read the trap yet. Maybe it sucks, but like being able to access that from the extra deck is really good. 2, if this card is in your graveyard, you can target 1 insect, plant, or reptile monster you control, places on the bottom. If you do, special summon this card. Also, if you use this effect, you get locked into insect, plant, and reptiles for the rest of the turn.
It makes so much sense. It makes so much sense why they hit those cards.
This is so... Okay, this seems like it would be crazy in B Trooper. Like, if the trap is any good at all. Like, the fact that these just, like, recur themselves as link material is...
Oh, these are
really
good.
Crazy. You could just turn, like, any monster you have on the field into a link 3 from Great.
Yeah, it doubles the link material. All of these count as double whatever their link material are, which is insane for a link deck. Like, that is just straight up insane.
This is Tri-Brigade, but good without everything else, but also good with everything else.
All right, Trish, you want to give us the link for?
I'm afraid the last two are actually pretty good. Link 4. So this is the reptile one. It's a fire reptile, fire monster. That's how you know it's gonna be good. 2+ monster is same summoning condition. 2+ monsters, 2900 attack. You can only use first, second effect of this card's name once per turn. If your opponent activates a monster effect, you can make both players unable to activate monster effects in the hand for the rest of the turn.
That's an interesting floodgate.
It's like Azathoth, but like you have to eat one hand trap first. So interesting. 2, if this card is in your graveyard, you can target one insect, plant, or reptile monster you control. Guess what? Place it on the bottom of your deck, and if you do, special summon it.
It's a free link 4, sure.
Yeah, sure, dude.
I glanced at these cards before we started, and I said they have a link 5. This will never see play. It's hard to link into a link 5, but I take it back.
No.
Yeah,
all right.
Not very. It only requires 2 monsters too. All right, Sonny,
this is easier to make than Borderlands.
Okay, I am actually gonna pause the podcast for 2 seconds. I have to run to the restroom. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Ooh.
Sonny pausing the podcast again. I've never. This has never happened in the history of time. Well,
actually, like this is the first time it's happened for me.
Does this
happen frequently?
Legitimately, this is I think God, how long have I been doing this for? Sonny roped me in when the other co-host was gone.
He told me the other day.
This is the first time. This is the first time this has happened. Where he's like, I have to go to the bathroom for recording. But
it's truly my influence.
I would much rather he go than have something happen live on air. So there's no objection here.
No, if you're a real streamer, you piss yourself live.
Oh, that's how this works. Okay, that's the
adult diaper strat. Yeah, that's adult diaper strat.
Actually, while he's doing that, you know what? Any of you Canadians in chat, Wholesale Club is a beautiful place. I didn't know you could just buy flats of Arizona iced tea there. So I'm now gonna save so much money now, because before the only places that I could get it were either like the gas station where they have they're like marked up like crazy, or at H Mart, which is like a Korean grocery store. But the Korean grocery store doesn't carry the best Arizona flavor anymore. They don't carry Grape Aid anymore. But Wholesale Club has flats of it. So
how do you
how
do you get Arizona tea in Canada? I thought you had to get Edmonton tea.
Very funny. Funny enough, I was doing research on this because I was trying to find Grape Aid in Alberta, but nobody had it in stock. Turns out in Canada we only have like 6 or 7 flavors. You guys in the US have 12 billion. But in Canada, we have like the alcoholic versions. So we have the hard Arizona iced tea, but the US doesn't. So there's a bunch of US people who are like, give us the coolers. And then all of the Canadians are like, give us the other cool flavors. We just want the regular stuff. So if we could trade, that would be awesome.
Give us the coolers. Also, give us the coolers.
All right, Sonny, are you you're back. I'm gonna do this.
Wait, before we start back up, I want to share a thing that I learned today, which is like completely irrelevant to the podcast.
Skyhawk,
you guys know how like every time Zara makes a tweet, there's that dude Frokichu who responds in all caps. This is a joke.
Yes.
Not a bot.
I thought that was a bot that somebody set up 3 years ago.
Nope.
It's a person.
That's a dedicated dude.
Yeah, because I clicked on like a Zara reply and this dude's just like straight up replying normally, and I responded to him. It's like, you're not a fucking bot. He's like, no, I have been manually typing these for 3 years. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Literally, yes. Every
years.
time I see a Frokichu tweet and it's not, this is a joke, I see it and I go, or it's like, this is a joke. Also, I'm sorry that this happened to you. I hope you have a good afternoon. What?
Yeah. Occasionally you get, this is not a joke.
Yeah.
There are a couple of good ones.
There could be a whole wiki dedicated to this one dude.
I don't understand the lore. How did this start?
This is why we need a wiki. Chat, you're listening. Get on this. Make a wiki of this.
I could not tell you.
Log every one of these that's ever existed.
I don't remember. I think it started at the dawn of creation. Started at the beginning of time at the Big Bang. There was an organism that was developed specifically to tweet at Zara that this is a joke.
All right.
All right.
Back to the podcast.
Bam.
Also, hey, do you guys like my new chair? It's really nice. Got a new chair.
Fantastic, Sonny. I'm so proud of you for your new chair.
This one I can recline in and not feel like I'm gonna fall off the face of the earth.
Wow, I'm so happy for you, Sonny.
I'm happy for me too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm not leaving this in the edit.
All right.
I'm cutting the shit.
I did not expect this to be included, but if it was, that would be very funny.
All right.
Sure.
Okay, Sonny, give us the link 5.
All right. So this is Raika no Dialga.
Dialga. No, it's
no Dialga.
probably it's probably Dialga. So close. Dialga.
Dialga. Yeah. Close
like
enough.
Better.
God of time or space, or whichever one he is. Earth insect link effect monster. Link 5, 3300 attack. Link arrows are not up. 2+ insect, plant, and or reptile monsters. You can only use the first and second. You guys all right there? You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. 1, if a monster or monsters is special summoned from your opponent's deck and or extra deck, you can destroy 2 monsters on the field. 2, if this card is in your graveyard, wait for it, you can target 1 insect, plant, or reptile monster you control. Place it on the bottom of your deck, and if you do, special summon this card. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except insect, plant, and reptiles.
This card is nuts. This card is crazy.
This card is nuts with either one of its effects missing, right?
No.
Like, within the context
I actually think this one's worse than the Link 4. Like, genuinely.
I think the disruption effect is pretty solid. Like, this is like this. I think Herman Hansen actually tweeted this. This is like an actual boss monster for B Trooper. Like they have this is like a disruption.
Notably, B Trooper has a Link 1.
Yeah, the 4. I think like basically what the other Link monsters I think are meant to do is like they make this Link 5 trivially easy to make. So I think the disruption is not like the most earth-shatteringly like strong thing in the world, but like Pop 2 is pretty good. And also it's a 3300 guy that recycles itself at the cost of a dude. So but yeah, I agree that like recurring the 4 or the 3 is better because it just gives you more stuff you can go into. You're not making like a Link 6. That's not a thing. So I agree.
The other thing too is that this is like an Icarus attack, and like to be fair, Icarus attack isn't as good as it used to be, like at all. So
it's actually not even Icarus. It's worse than that. It's only monsters.
Oh yeah, okay. So it's just a double pop, but for the investment that you're getting, like just like it would probably be easier to hard make a Zeus, like unironically. But for the Link 4, you get a lingering effect that like as we were talking and thinking about it, it's like, okay, this could actually be like really good in some formats where like you think about decks that have a lot of monster effects that activate in hand. So like when you go second, like when you're going second as the opponent, you know, you get 1 monster effect and then suddenly all of your in-hand extenders just don't work anymore.
They're just gone
at all.
Yep.
Notably, for those listening at home, B Trooper Scout Buggy is currently a 25 to $1 card. 25 cents to $1 card on TCG Player, about $1.
Oh, don't tell them that. Now it's gonna go up.
And it's full. I don't make cards spike in price. I make support happen. It's a different thing.
Fair.
I would like to point out that I actually have caused 2 cards to get bought out. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but you have to play them. You can't play this for a while.
The one other thing about this being the Link 4 being a fire is that you can do like you can access Promethean Princess, I think, because Promethean.
Oh God, yeah, it's a fire.
Or is Princess a pyro? It's a fiend. Okay, you could Princess into this if you don't lock yourself at some point, so that is an option. But it's going to depend on how the rest of the deck pans out. Okay, spell card.
This is a little spooky.
Spell card, continuous spell, Raika Ryo Ran Kuruisaki. Continuous spell, you can only use the second effect once per turn. 1, all insect, plant, and reptile monsters on the field gain 300, and then all other face-up monsters on the field lose 300. 600 attack difference, cool. 2, you can activate one of these effects. add a Raikou monster from your deck to your hand and then discard 1 card. Or 2, special summon one of your Raikou monsters that is banished or in your hand or graveyard in defense position. It seems pretty solid. It goes minus, but it can set up your graveyard. You're banishing a bunch of stuff. Like imagine add a Raikou, pitch Resonance Insect, banish the Resonance Insect, special a guy. Like that seems pretty good. And then also like the fact that you can do this every turn makes it like a super recursive thing. You don't have to like activate a second one. So
this card actually doesn't go minus. Just by the way,
because you can use both of the.
Oh my god.
Oh no. Never mind. I misunderstood. You can it's 2 effects. One of them has 2 sub effects. My bad. My bad.
The Sunny misinformation counter rises by 1. There is no B Trooper Link 1. It's Link 2.
It is a Link 2. There's 2 Link 2s.
But Scout Buggy is full combo in this deck. Whatever full combo is, Scout Buggy is full combo.
I think Almirage is the Insect X Link 1.
That's fair.
Trish, you want to give us the searchable trap card?
Absolutely, I do.
Notably, if you summon Scout Buggy, you cannot link it into Almirage.
Not Scout Buggy. There's another card. I think Resonance Insect you can.
Probably, but I'm just saying, like if you try to start with Scout Buggy and they imperm it,
Resonance is 1,000, so you can normal Resonance Insect, link it into Almirage, trigger the search effect for level 5 or higher.
Yeah,
anyway.
That's sorry, Trish, I cut you off 3 times.
Oh, you're fine. I was just thinking. I'm not really gonna try with pronouncing the name, so I'm gonna call it Raikou Darren Kubi Kari Mai.
It seems Kubi Kari Mai, you got pretty close actually.
That's the hardest word. The one that I can't think of something funny for. That's the one I get right, of course.
It's Raika Dairin Kubi Kari Mai is probably close. But
sure.
Yeah.
Right. Once again, you can use first, second effect of this card's name once each, or card's name each once per turn. Weirdly worded, whatever. Target card. First effect is target cards your opponent controls up to the number of insect, plant, and reptile monsters you control with different types. Destroy them. So this is cool because if you pair this with the Link 5 is an inherent double pop on monsters, and then you can use this whenever to pop even more cards.
Yeah, if you end on all 3 types, this is a 1 for 3. That's I mean, pretty good.
that's pretty decent. It's like bootleg Fire King at that point. 2, if you have a face-up insect, plant, and or reptile monsters that you control is destroyed by battle or card effect while this card is in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish this card, then target a monster your opponent controls, destroy it.
For a searchable trap card, this is as good as it gets. Yeah.
This is a perfectly acceptable way to layer interruptions so that you don't lose to Dark Ruler anymore. This is perfectly acceptable.
I agree with that, yeah.
So, all right. Overall, 1 to 10, first initial thoughts. How are we ranking this archetype?
I'm gonna play it safe. I'll give it a 7. There's this is the thing is this is an engine that you were going to play in other decks. This is not a deck. There's probably exactly. Well, yeah, that's true. Tri Brigade was like an engine that gets thrown in, right? Triad Brigade, I think, worked a little bit more with itself.
Redux, it does.
The 3 monsters don't have as much synergy with each other, I think, other than the summoning conditions. But the Link engine, I think, is really strong. I think this helps Insect better than anything else.
Sure.
Really?
The plant, because again, the huge problem that Insect had before, like a B Trooper in that pile deck, is that they didn't have a board, right? But now they can play another searchable trap card that's better than the B Trooper counter trap because that counter trap is very limited. And they have a big Link boss that now actually does something on their end board. So Insect already had the recovery, they already had the consistency, but they didn't have the ceiling. This raises the ceiling. Not much, but it's enough to mean something. So I think there's something here for Insect for sure. I don't know if Plant needs this. They might play the Link 2 just because the Link 2 is crazy, but it does lock them out of Regulus. So it depends on if maybe Jess will come up with something crazy with this.
You want to know what I think?
Kind of weak for Reptile, I think.
Oh, I was actually about to say the exact opposite. I think these cards are crazy for Ogdoadic. Because Ogdoadic, like, think about Ogdoadic.
Actually,
they summon a ton of monsters. They summon a ton of monsters on the field, and then they have nothing to do with them.
My chat said that. As soon as we started reading these, I have one of my moderators that's an Ogdoadic freak, and he's just like, it's so good for Ogdoadic.
Activate Snake Rain, summon a Link 5.
Level 4 Dark Reptile, Synergy.
Yeah,
actually, no. You know what? You're totally right about this. And the level 4 too. You can just add it with King of the Feral Imps and go crazy.
Notably, B Trooper does not have to run 10 bricks in the main deck anymore because it just runs like 10 of these main deck cards instead. And that's the engine.
Oh, these cards with Resonance Intact go nuts.
Yeah, that's true. I think B Trooper and Ogdoadics are the winners here.
Yep.
And then, like, the Link 2 is nice for
Do we see a
deck.
Traptrix and sub-engine being played in B Trooper now?
Yeah. There's also, like, this is not it either. Like, there's going to be more. So there's the word,
think about the initial release of Tri-Brigade versus what it ended up being. Like, we later got Kit and we later got Bearbrum. Like, those are additions, and those are two of the most important additions to the entire deck. So we will probably get another main deck monster, if not more, and probably something else, maybe another spell card. I don't know that we'll get another Link because we already have 4 of them. A Link 1 maybe in 3 years, but like for now, this is still very good.
I think there's only really
read Serpentine Princess, I guess.
I think a bunch of the other cards don't really matter much, but the one that I think does have some application is the funniest. So I sent a link to maybe one of the funniest card names that has ever been made. So this is quote Monster Reborn unquote. So that is
yes, the new Monster Reborn.
This is the actual name of the card.
Can I cut in for 1 second for a funny card that my chat pointed out that works really well with this deck specifically, with the reptile deck?
Okay. Yeah, that's okay.
Serpentine Princess. If you've never read it.
This is the weird FTK card. Okay.
If this face-up card is returned from the field to your deck, select and special summon one level 3 or lower monster from your deck to your side of the field, then shuffle your deck.
That's any level 3 monster?
Any level 3 or lower monster, yeah.
Or lower?
It's a reptile, and if it gets bounced back, it summons any level 3 or lower monster from your deck.
Dog, that's actually insane.
You know what's weird about that card? Normally, if cards go back to your deck, they can't trigger.
Mm-hmm.
It's better than the inherent summons from the deck.
This card just says, nah, I'd win.
I'd win.
Inherently
that card was probably printed before they changed that ruling. Because it used to be that like with Absolute Zero, like in Edison format, you shuffle it back to deck, it still triggers and blows
I wonder if this card literally cannot trigger, or if this ends up seeing play, this ends up as one of those cards that Konami's like, no, this still works because we said so.
It still works.
It's definitely like that because it says so on the card. Like the card specifies it, so it overrolls.
If you've ever watched Sub Replay Friday, this card has showed up a few times.
Of course it has. OCG reprinted it in Tournament Pack, and no one knew why.
This is slightly off topic. So they knew. Okay, nice.
Oh yeah, Tournament Pack always ahead of its time. Yeah.
This
Summon Enchantress.
Off topic, but when I took the judge test to get just the regular level 1 certification, they hadn't updated it to fix the AB0 ruling, so I had to answer the AB0 ruling question wrong.
I did that on mine as well. It was the only question I missed.
Because they had the correct answer to that question, being that it triggered, but they hadn't updated it after they changed the ruling in the TCG region.
2021 is when I took my test, and it was still like that.
Anyway, Monster Reborn unquote is a quick play spell that says you can only, it's hard once per turn, unlike regular Monster Reborn. So target one monster in either graveyard, special summon it to your field, but it cannot attack or activate its effects this turn. I have seen takes on this card ranging from this card is crazy to this card sucks. I think the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. To me, this reads like an upside. It's like Foolish Return with upside. Because like instead of just banishing it, you get to take the monster. Firing it in the end phase is cool because it means that the effects get turned on just like right the next turn. It's not amazing, but there's something here. It's also being a quick play disruption, I think, is what it is more useful for rather than being Monster Reborn, but also being a quick play spell. Like Monster Reborn, I don't think I've seen play in anything since it's been off the list.
This is a better crossout designator in the mirror match.
What mirror match?
In any mirror match.
In a nebulous mirror match. Good luck finding
in any mirror match. You think this card is better than crossout designator?
It's pretty close, yeah.
I want you to just walk me through it.
I mean,
just walk me through how you think this card is crossout designator.
I didn't say it was crossout designator. I said it's probably better than crossout designator.
No, you said it is a better crossout designator.
Okay. Let me just say how tired I am and how late it is.
That's a reasonable take. Okay. I think that's probably everything. There are a couple of other cards. I don't think they do anything, so we don't really need to go over them. There's a Crescent Dragon guy that's a cool retrain. We got a couple of Flame Swordsman cards revealed. There's Blink Out, which is kind of a funny reborn as well.
What was I have to get my Dragon Link bozo hype in here. What was the name of the there was another retrain. It was like the level 7 dragon.
Yes, this is the
that was
guy.
based on a vanilla.
I sent it to you. It is
Crescent
Dragon Mikazuki no Yaiba.
Oh, okay. This card's actually like it's bad, but like it could have been really good as a one of. Like it had potential as a one of if they didn't limit Magnemite. And let me explain why real quick. Let me explain why. Hold on.
This can also add Phantasme, I think, which is a thing. But
okay, so yes, but here was the cool thing that you could do with it. So in Dragon Link, you could have played this as a one of, and you could have gone like Magnemite effect, right? Like when Mag was at 3, this would like make sense. Now it doesn't make sense, but the potential is still out there. You go Magnemite effect, add this card in the opponent's end phase. During the end phase, which is the first line on this card, if this card is in your hand or grave, summon it, but place it on the bottom of the deck when it leaves field. And it also says discard a card, add a level 7 Dark Dragon from your deck to your hand. The best level 7 Dark Dragon is Noctovision. So off of Magnemite, you can go draw, like summon this, search this, summon this, draw for turn. Effect of this, pitch anything out of your hand. So if you have a good discard, cool. Search Nocto, make Romulus for free, get your Dragon Ravine, search your Tracer, summon Tracer, make Striker, summon Nocto. It's a free Link 4 plus a draw. And 2 field spell searches. This card is kind of nice. It's actually a Link 5 because Tracer can pop a card. So
He's good.
It searches everything. This card literally makes Borland and draws a card. It's really funny.
That is interesting. I did not think about it that way. That is fascinating.
Okay. Did we do the Zoma the Earthbound Spirit card already?
I don't think so. Do we want to talk about
the trap card? Continuous trap card? Trap monster?
We have not talked about that one yet.
Long story short, it's a trap monster. And it says monsters your opponent controls that can attack must attack this card. And if it's destroyed by an opponent's attacking monster, inflict damage to your opponent equal to double the original attack of that monster that destroyed it.
Is it possible for Konami to make a trap card that's playable?
Yeah, we read one like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. Hey guys, Sword Soul Blackout was cool. Can we make that card again?
But continuously. We got another card from Legacy of Destruction called Blink Out. Quick play spell card. Target a link monster field. Return the extract and special and one of the materials used for its link summon from your graveyard.
That card it's fine.
Does it target one you control or just one on the field?
I think
on the field. Target one on the field. Return the extract. Then special one. Then you can special one material. Yeah, just target one on the field.
So it's defusion for links.
Literally, yes, sort of.
That card's broken.
It only summons one of the materials.
Still cool.
Okay.
It doesn't summon. It's not decent.
There's a specific reason I asked. Does it have to target your own monster? It's defusion for links. It's what it really reads is target a link monster on the field, delete it.
Get rid of it.
Delete it.
See you.
Yeah, delete a target link monster. If it happens to be yours, you get a card back. Sure.
We also got the announcement of Infinite Forbidden in the OCG. This is the final core booster set of 2024, and it goes on sale April 27th, 2023 is what it says, but it's definitely 2024 in the OCG.
It's the first core booster set of
first core of 2024. It's on sale April 27th of 2024 in the OCG.
Yeah.
So, did they get Legacy of Destruction before the first of the year?
I think so, yeah.
Because I just read off like 5 cards from Legacy.
Yep.
Okay. So Infinite Forbidden, yep, it exists, and it's still going to have quarter centuries in it.
That is interesting. Yeah. Well, so the actual there's a reason for that. The actual 25th anniversary isn't until this February, if I'm not mistaken. So that that they started it at the beginning of last year, but it's been ramping up for like more than a year, so it's a little bit confusing. But it is like,
so it'll probably continue the rest of this year too.
That probably. So the 25th anniversary is actually like the 24th to the 26th, but we neither here nor there.
Yeah. For the next 16 months, enjoy these special cards.
Yeah. All right. I think that's everything, Sonny. Was there anything else we wanted to go over?
As far as I'm aware, that's everything. We have covered a lot of news. I don't actually know how long this episode went because of so many cut in and outs. Again, so sorry for the edit on this one, Skyhawk. It's going to be brutal.
There's only 2 places I have to cut it. We're good. I will survive. I
think it's more than that, but all right.
Anyway, you wanna read out some patron names? You wanna thank the people?
I do, and no one can stop me. So, of course, we want to give a huge thank you to, make sure I have everything correct, Always Second, Kashira Birth Control, Zyphorus, Ding Dong's Hostess of the Yang Zing, HGH Cyber, Jed McCansby? It's got to be McCansby. New is a new patron. That's why they haven't renamed themselves something silly yet. John Lil, Oatmeal Spaghetti, Owen Alvarado, Pistol Place Pendulums, Silver Hope, Skyhawk Over the Beatles, Understanding and Reading are 2 different things, Virtually Savior's World, Visa Star Frosty the Snowman, Visa Star Frosting These Nuts, Aaron Gardner, Alexander Chan, Asami, Ashless Chaps, Etsuyo, Simp of the Silver Castle, Blackwing Silverone the Ascendant is the best Floodgate, Blue Eyes is best, Copium, Box Wine, Dragon, Maidenless Behavior, Ice Jade will win a YCS before Swoo Swoo, I'm about to Rika, Glamour, Tribute for Cost, These Plant Nuts in Your Mouth, Level 4 Fire Warrior Gaming, Little Stinky, Max C Pack, Old Man Red, pin code 143, Runic Did Nothing Wrong, Sinful Soils, Sunny's Internet Gremlin, and the existence of a Terratop implies that there's also a joyful bottom. Thank you all so much for the continued support of the podcast. Of course, be sure to check out all of our sponsors in the description down below. And with that said, have a great one, everybody.
The last one is an all-timer for sure. That one is incredibly done.
Yeah. And notably, it was a thing before that meme went around on Twitter.
Yeah. Our patron actually got it first. But before I let you go, I do have a card pun for you, unfortunately. So, what is the first sentence that you say when you go have coffee with death for the first time in 20 years?
Joyful bottom.
With the god of death. So true. You would say you're a scythe for sore eyes. You're an artifact scythe for sore eyes. That's my
swear to God.
I'm going to dispel this podcast. Let's move on.
I don't have a pun. Goodbye.
Your life is
all right.
a pun.
I have stopped the recording. I'm going to make Sunny's internet gremlin and disappear.
Okie dokie.
I'm going to go.
I will upload my audio.
Streamer.
Yeah. Good luck on the climb to master.
Thank you.
Mr.
I have 3 days left to enjoy my deck before I suddenly hate this game.
Prage.
Goodbye, my stream. I'm staying for Trisha's stream, but goodbye, my stream.